residents in the city. They had been shutting off water for years, but nowhere on this scale.
Welcome, beloved community. We are back again with yet another installment of the People's Water Board Coalition Water Wednesday webcast. Today, we're going to be talking about water privatization and how it affects water affordability. There's places all over Michigan that are threatened with water privatization and that have already been privatized. And Nicole has been doing a huge amount of research on this. And so we're going to jump right into it because it's a short show. Nicole, tell us what you've learned. You have been in all of the back pages and looking at all of the things.
I have.
Tell us what you've learned, and let's talk about, and we're going to be talking about Veolia today.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, let's jump into it.
So, as you probably know, and maybe our viewers don't, we've been doing a lot of research about other areas in Michigan because we realize that being unable to afford water is not just a Detroit issue. It's not just a Southeast Michigan issue. It's a statewide issue. From the most ruralist of areas in northern Michigan and the UP, right down here to the metropolitan Detroit area. And so in this research, I was particularly targeting cities that were going towards northern Michigan, such as like Bay City, Saginaw. But then I got into some of them that are further north, like Alpena, Sheboygan, Charlevoix, and so on. And most of them had similar policies on water shutoffs and water affordability, like they had the option for payment plans. Some cities actually had something similar to affordability at a small local level in place, where they say that if you are low income or fall into a particular demographic, such as being a senior on a fixed income, they would be willing to work at a discounted rate for you. And then I went to investigate Alpena, Michigan. Lovely small town. And I was shocked to find out, because we've been hearing about Veolia for quite some time. And just to...
It's for years and years and years since Occupy, we've been hearing about. Yes. They're a monster
just to give
company.
the viewers a small
vampire
synopsis on the history or the background of Veolia. Veolia is a French multinational company, which means they work across many different countries, ranges, and they claim their specialization to be in environmental waste management or in environmental services. Such as water and waste management, and even energy services. But we've even heard in some foreign countries that they're managing the public transportation as well. And so, what Veolia claims to do is to come into these communities, some industries, and municipalities and offer best case solutions. That's a direct quote from the article, best case solutions, not my words.
Yeah.
For water treatment and so forth. And when I say that when Veolia comes in to do any type of water utility for a municipality, such as Alpena, who's been dealing with Veolia and had a partnership, as Veolia likes to call them, a partnership, when really it's a hostile takeover, and the communities don't even realize it.
An extractive hostile takeover.
Very extractive. They have been in this position with Veolia since 1986. So Veolia has been around for a very, very long time. We've been hearing about it in recent years, but they've been around for over 3 decades.
They're a monster company, just like Nestle, Coca-Cola,
Monsanto, DuPont. Yeah, we could go on and on. And what they do is when they take over water services for a municipality, they don't just come in and say, oh,
Privatize.
you're having problems with, water treatment plants. We're going to work on that. They take over water treatment, water distribution, which means getting the water from the plant to your home. They take over, wastewater and stormwater management, and they manage it all. They even do billing. In Alpena, they even manage the billing. So it's literally everything. They take over the entirety from this municipality. And they claim to focus on pollution control. And what shocked me is as I dug deeper, and I'm like, so it's a French company, which made me again go back to Nestle because it's a Swiss company. And I was wondering exactly where the profits go and do they have any actual sites here in Michigan. And Veolia has about 5 sites throughout, ironically, southeastern Michigan, with like Livonia, Northville. They have sites in Novi, Westland, and I think it's 2 in Livonia, 1 in Westland,
Their
1 in
tentacles
Novi,
everywhere, all
and
over
1
the
in
planet.
Northville. They have 1 in Northville. And then they had it listed on their page that they had a couple sites in the near Ohio, which is, the nearest to Michigan. And they come in and they take over entire public water systems, first of all.
Yeah.
And
privatize them.
And for our viewers, this is not just a step towards private. This is a major step towards the privatization of our public drinking water and sanitation.
And before we go any further, we want folks to keep in mind that water is a commons and should always be a commons.
Public
You should
commons,
never,
yes.
It's a public commons for all of us. It's a gift the earth gives us. We are made of it. So you never, ever, ever, it's never okay. And it's never going to turn out okay to have your water privatized or have an entity like Veolia come in and let them do that. You have to fight something like that and nail. You have to demand that the water stay as a public commons and in public control. You cannot let monster corporations come in. It will never turn out for you. It will never turn out for you. And as you're going to hear from Nicole, there's a whole slew of water affordability issues because of it.
Yes.
I wanted folks to realize the basis of where we are, where the morality and the importance is. I'm sorry, go ahead, Nicole.
And just to give you an idea of what we could be facing with Veolia's dealings here in Michigan and in the U.S., I dug a little further and found out how Veolia manages not only public transportation, but water systems in Southeast Asia. And you go to the videos and you read the articles and you immediately see these people standing, which we know that these are some of the lower income population, which is the everyday man, because most of us are not in that elitist group. And you see these people standing in line for hours, sometimes entire days, with these giant clay jars and giant jugs to just try to get a small amount of clean water.
Yeah, I don't think people realize they've devastated that most of the world really that's how they get their water.
That's how they get their water. Not
a good
only
majority
that,
of the planet.
But it even showed in places where people were known to have access to adequate plumbing to get water in their homes and, have running water, have water for bathing and flushing toilet, that after Veolia stepped in, the rate hikes or rate increases it
made it impossible for them to be able to afford it.
They placed upon this community made it impossible for them to actually have running water in their homes. So now that's their only means of getting water. And it's at Veolia's bequest when they allow the citizens in this community to get their water. So
Gross.
it's basically become the water barter system. You get it when we say you can get it. We control it.
Yeah.
Not only
And that's
that,
kind of what the people in Alpena are going through.
and that's kind of what the people in Alpena are going through. And the thing is I don't discount anybody's community, first of all, but you always hear this phrase, third world countries. And this is what's happening
I
in the
always
third
hated
world
that.
country. We're more, we're supposed to be a more advanced country, but it's happening here too, people. And that's what you don't realize.
That's right. Well, and there's not a third world. There's
There
one
isn't a
Earth,
third
and we
world.
all
There's
live on
one
it. We're
Earth.
all connected.
Exactly.
The water's connected, and it's to me, and I know other people have different feelings on this, but to me, to say a third world country, there's not a third world. Those
And I'm
people
like,
are people. We
when I
share the
hear
Earth
that
together.
when I hear that phrase, it always makes me think of Lord of the Rings. Like, is there another realm that we're unaware of? Another world somewhere? Like, what do you
Like,
mean? We
there's
live on the
not.
same
We're all
planet.
connected. The water's connected.
It is. It
It
is.
always bothered me. Third world country. Every time I hear it, I'm like,
And the thing is
what
that
are you trying to say?
Veolia, I won't venture as far to say deliberately, but I will say they mislead communities and municipalities
How could
because
it
they
be
claim
anything but deliberate?
of course, of course. But for slanderization purposes, I'll say they mislead
They can come
public.
after our little show with no money.
Yes, yes, exactly. Public municipalities. They're gonna shut down our Riverwise account, Um, they claim when they come in that they're really offering a service to help because they're claiming to come in and improve water quality and efficiency. And that's why you have to get these rate increases also. So
Yeah.
the thing is
Yeah.
that
So the people in Alpena can't afford their water, and Veolia has been had taken it over in the 80s. But
in
you're
the
seeing
80s,
this like trend of privatization all throughout Michigan in these little towns, and we're here. We're sounding the alarm. You could not let these little towns have to come together and organize. You could not let entities like Veolia come in and privatize your water. You won't be able to afford it later.
Exactly. And one of the things that really got me is I was like going through it, and it started out with Veolia. But then Veolia did a merger with another company called Suez. And so now together they are commissioning Alpena's water control. And here's the thing, they're doing the entire package from distribution to treatment to the billing. They're doing everything but offering water affordability. Because here's the thing, not only are they now doing this, but they've just stated literally July 1st that they will no longer, they service everything, but what they will not service anymore is anything from the curb cock to your house. So even if the pipe bursts in your yard, Veolia is not going to
Something
cover
like
that.
that costs like $20,000 to fix.
Exactly.
And it's their infrastructure.
Yeah.
Them saying we won't fix it just means you're screwed. You'll sit without
They're
water
only
until
going to
you can
cover
afford.
from the curb to the water treatment plant.
That's insane. I understand people having to cover what plumbing is in their house,
Here's
but
the
that's
thing that I
still
think,
the water infrastructure.
I think
They're vampires.
they're very much leeches, not even good as a vampire. I
Yeah.
think of elderly people when I think of this particularly. One of the things that stood out when I was reading was that Veolia stated that they can shut your water off if you don't allow them access to your house to do a repair or inspection or to, I guess, read the meter. When I read that, the first thing that went to my mind is an elderly person who lives alone, who may be afraid to let someone in their house, whether they have a badge or not.
Well, there's a billion reasons you don't want to let somebody in your house.
Exactly. And you're going to say, just because I couldn't come in your house to monitor your meter, we're just going to shut your water. Those are Gestapo tactics. And
They are good stuff.
they very much are Gestapo tactics. And the thing is for you to walk around and claim that you want to be supportive of these communities and better, their water quality and make things run more efficiently, but at what cost? When you're putting the immediate thing you do when you come
Well,
in
and
is,
actually do they? They don't
yeah,
care.
they don't. And
They
then
don't
as
care.
soon as you come in, you immediately institute a rate hike to
Yeah, they
cover the
immediately
cost.
start cutting costs when they privatize, right? Firing
Yeah.
scientists, firing the
Yeah.
people who make sure that the water's okay. We've seen it over and over and over again. We saw it in Flint. We've seen it over and over and over again.
hmm And
So
what
you know that
bothers
they're
me,
not just, they're making everything cost effective. And then they're
yes.
still going to raise your rates.
And what bothers me about this so much is that you want to have a monopoly on all the services that are capped under
Transportation and water.
transportation and water, but you want to tell people that I'm going to control every aspect of you receiving water into your home, except I'm not making any repair if anything is damaged.
No,
And I'm not particularly keen on testing your water.
no. That's the first thing they do is go in and hire the high paying people to make sure that the water's safe.
And then the thing
We've
is
seen it
what,
over and over and over again.
yes, and what we have to realize is by them having a monopoly and doing everything, as the old folks would say, from the rooter to the tutor, they're doing the water transport, the water distribution, the water treatment plants, the wastewater, the billing. There's no other entity for you to go to and say, I'm having this issue. What can I do? Where can I go?
Yeah,
What
who are you going to
steps can I
complain
take?
to? They
Because
they
it's
own
all
the whole water department.
Veolia.
Yeah,
It's all
they
Veolia.
own the whole water department. You know, this is when we talk about water affordability,
Yes,
there's many layers to it when it comes to the state of Michigan, right? And all of
absolutely.
these rural towns and big cities like Flint and Saginaw, you saw Saginaw have in the last few years serious problems with water affordability. Like you could go on
hmm
and on and on. And a small town like Reading, Michigan, where folks were getting shut off and
hmm
they didn't know what to do or how to, and it took a long time because they weren't already organized to figure out what to do to get everybody's water turned back on. You've got all these little towns, you
Absolutely.
know, that aren't organized like we are here in Detroit. When we start hearing about people getting their water shut off or water affordability issues, we're organized. So that's one thing that you could do for your community right now is start having community meetings. Start talking about how you can't afford your water. And even if you are on your own system, your own, pumping system at your house, that's very expensive to maintain. If you can't
Yes,
afford to maintain that, that's still water affordability issues,
absolutely.
right? If your sewage is costing you out of the roof, it's still water affordability issues. We have to name
hmm
them for what they are. And it's happening all over Michigan. Privatization is never the answer. And
It
we have
is
to
not.
always start at the basis of it's a commons, a public commons. It has to remain a public commons for us to
Yes,
be able to protect it. Get organized now. Start organizing community meetings and talking to other folks because that's the only way to combat when people like or entities like Veolia or Nestle come to your house or come to your town.
yes. And apparently now, don't just look out for Veolia and Nestle, but Veolia might slip into your community under the guise of Suez.
Yeah. Yeah, just like Nestle.
Yes.
They changed their names
Nestle changed their
throughout
name to Blue
the
Triton.
years.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, throughout the years. That's these companies' MO.
Just know that privatization is a direct adversary of water affordability.
It's against it. Yes. Yes, you can't
It's
have
dead
both.
set against it.
And you can't protect it. And you're talking about safe water too, because you can't have
Yes.
both.
I
You
was
can't
thinking
have
about that also,
privatization and have safe, affordable water.
that the thing is the fact that Veolia wants to control every aspect of water moving through the community of Alpena and their citizens, but not be willing to do any testing or make sure that the water is safe
Or upgrade the infrastructure.
or upgrade the infrastructure. But you want to place a
And then
rate
place
hike
some of the
increase,
infrastructure costs to the people.
and then I haven't discovered it, but I'm gonna keep digging. But I'm wondering if, since it's Veolia controlling every aspect, including the billing, who do they contact when they have a shut off? Do you contact your local municipality, and then do they have to sit back and wait for Veolia to make a
That's something we
decision
really need to
to
understand.
decide
Yeah.
if you deserve to have a water in your home?
Yeah, let's do that research and
Yeah.
get it to our viewers. You know,
Absolutely.
the next, just to our viewers, we're going to be talking a lot about water affordability in small towns in Michigan. And we invite you to get a hold of us and talk to us about, and tell us if you want to tell your story about not being able to afford your water, or if your water's not safe, here in Michigan. We want to hear those stories. Please
Yes.
contact us on any one of our social media platforms. I'll also put my email in the description box down below. But we want to
Mine
hear
as
your
well.
stories, and it's important that other
Yes.
people around Michigan hear your stories of not being able to afford your water. And if you're
Particularly
in
if you're
jeopardy of
from a
getting
small
your water
town.
privatized, definitely get a hold of us. Let us help you get
Yes.
organized.
Even if you're on a well, water affordability issues in Michigan will affect you
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely. If you can't fix your well, you can't afford your water. That's it. It's a water
Exactly.
affordability issue at that point. If you can't fix your plumbing, that's a water affordability issue at that
Yes,
point.
it is.
All of those things, let's call them what they are.
And when we say we want water affordability for all Michiganders, that's exactly what we mean. We don't care if
And
you're
we're
on
going
a
to fight tooth
well.
and nail to get
We
it.
don't care if you go to the river. We don't care if you have a large water system or a small rural water system. You are important. You're a Michigander, and you deserve to be able to afford safe, clean drinking water and sanitation.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for all the research that you did on this, Nicole, and taking the time to really dig deep. It's important for people to know. And to our viewers, yeah, this is the time to get organized. Water is
It's under
literally
attack.
protecting our water is a fight for our future. And it's a life or death situation for a lot of people right now. So thank you for tuning in. Please, please share this with folks, and let's get organized. And, thanks for our tech person behind the scenes. And thank you, Nicole, for always going on this journey with me. And to our viewers, these are really hard times. Reach out to each other, look out for each other, join some sort of mutual aid set up so that you can help each other and try to stay afloat. Bye.
Bye.